Indeed, Shivan, this of course was something that not a lot of people were expecting. The exit polls, of course, had probably got it right, where a lot of the exit polls were putting the Bharatiya Janata Party ahead. Now, it remains to be seen whether these numbers, of course, hold. But what this would mean is that the politics in the national capital is changing at a very fundamental level. Because remember, 12 odd years ago, when the Aam Aadmi Party burst onto the scene, it was the new kid on the block. Arvind Kejriwal at that moment, was the outsider. He had said that I want to change the politics of this nation. How far has he succeeded? Or has he again gotten sucked up, into the kind of politics that is played in India? That remains to be seen. At this moment, as things stand, these are still early leads and trends, but in about an hour or 90 minutes from now, these will, of course, solidify. So it remains to be seen how far ahead can the BJP, of course, go. Anything above 35, the BJP, of course, forms the government. But for the Aam Aadmi Party, remember, this is a government that has been in power for the last 10, 12 years.
10, 12 years. And anti-incumbency is a
it is really hard for them to again convince the people of Delhi that they've done a good job and they can expect something more in the days to come.
And, a question which is coming up, that if it hasn't happened in 10 years, what do we expect next? Anti-incumbency, it's a usual trend. It usually comes in after 2 terms have been given to a specific party. Delhi has been very lenient with, in the terms that it has given in the past as well. 15 years Congress was in power, 10 years we've already seen Aam Aadmi Party in power. As of now, if there is anything that gives Aam Aadmi Party a 3rd term, Ms. Fadnis, let me quickly come back to you. Do you feel the women voters are going to be that X factor that Aam Aadmi Party needs at this point to get that 3rd term?
Yes. In fact, Kejriwal himself had said that if the women come out and vote for me, there is no way that I can lose. He said that just before the elections. Women voters are very crucial in any state. We've seen the women voter power in Madhya Pradesh Assembly election. We've seen it in the Maharashtra Assembly election. We've seen it in Haryana. One thing that has evolved is, if you look at the National Family Health Survey, women have unparalleled power, financial power and independence that they never enjoyed earlier. More numbers of women are using mobiles to do financial transactions. More numbers of women are doing are voting separately, differently from the rest of the family. So the woman vote is really the X factor for everybody, for all parties. And I think the sooner parties recognize this and tap into this, the better. It will soon come to a point where it will be no longer enough to just give women money.
That's an important point, Ms. Fadnis, that you made. Let's in fact go back to the graphic that we have on our screens just a little while back, where the exit polls at this moment, Shivan, this is something where the exit polls, in terms of the numbers that are coming in now, seem to have gotten things at least relatively right this time around. The predictions, perhaps, if they were to hold for a little bit while longer, then this is going to be very interesting. The Z Media poll, this is conducted on the basis of AI, which looks into a very large segment of the opinions. It had given the Bharatiya Janata Party 31 to 36 seats. The Aam Aadmi Party was also neck and neck in the Z Media's poll, which was 33 to 38 is what was given. While the other exit polls, it also predicted that the BJP was, of course, going to be ahead, which is precisely what seems to be happening here. The BJP at this moment, these are still, remember, early leads and trends. They would, of course, solidify in another couple of hours' time. But the BJP seems to be clearly way ahead. This is no longer a neck and neck race. BJP at this moment is being projected to be winning or leading at least in 42 of the seats. The magic number is 36. It's well above that. The Aam Aadmi Party is at 27. And the Congress, of course, is leading in just one of those seats, which we are told is that of Sandeep Dixit, the son of the former Chief Minister Sheila Dixit. He is, of course, leading in the New Delhi constituency, which means that Arvind Kejriwal is trailing here, which would be a big blow. Because remember, this is an election that Arvind Kejriwal said was effectively a referendum on him and his brand of politics. And that is what is on the line here.
Saleh, we had earlier just got a lead into this as well, that Kejriwal is trailing Parvesh Singh. But we see Sandeep Dixit, who's in the lead. Congress is in the lead in that seat. That means, as if you rank the three, it's Sandeep Dixit, it's Parvesh Singh Sahib, and then you have Kejriwal. That high-stakes battle in the New Delhi seat, where the Aam Aadmi Party Supremo is taking part himself. He's trailing behind the BJP candidate and the Congress candidate. Says a lot about where they are positioned. But Saleh, do you feel Congress? We've seen that the lead that they have is only in one seat, but that one seat coming from New Delhi, is that also saying something about the Congress?
It's interesting that you're pointing out about the lead that the Congress has taken. The impact of the Congress in this election is more likely in terms of how badly they've damaged the Aam Aadmi Party rather than the gains that they have made themselves. Because remember, in 2015, the party that got wiped out in the elections, which resulted in the rise of the Aam Aadmi Party, the BJP's vote share remained pretty much intact. The Aam Aadmi Party effectively ate into the vote share of the Congress, and they also wiped out the independents. People who are fed up of your usual parties, who wanted to choose independent candidates, they saw the Aam Aadmi Party as a breath of fresh air. The Aam Aadmi Party had come as the new kid on the block. They wanted to change the politics of India. Have they done that? That was effectively what was happening. But here in this case, the fact that probably the Congress may be eating and getting slightly bit more of the vote share is affecting and damaging the Aam Aadmi Party, which is, of course, advantage for the BJP.
That's exactly what I was coming to, Saleh. The Congress, Ms. Fatis, I want to come to you for this. Do you feel they've damaged the Aam Aadmi Party, or do you feel in that process they've aided the Bharatiya Janata Party more?
Well, this is a frequent allegation. It's hard to say whether Congress has damaged Aam Aadmi Party or Aam Aadmi Party has damaged Congress.
Right.
It's a difficult call to take. But this much is clear that their pool of votes is the same, particularly the minorities. And the minorities in the past have felt impelled out of loyalty to vote for the Congress. I think a very small number must have voted for the BJP. A lot of them have voted for Aam Aadmi Party. Clearly, that chunk of votes, judging by these leads, was not enough to get the Aam Aadmi Party to coast to victory. So something has happened. Kind of a tectonic shift has taken place among the people who form the non-core vote of the Aam Aadmi Party that seems to have gone to the BJP.
Ms. Fatis, very quickly, I also wanted to get your thoughts on this. Do you feel the BJP is truly tested when the opposition is united? So in that context, we saw that in the general elections as well. But at this point, do you feel Congress and Aam Aadmi Party together could have perhaps stood for more against the BJP? Because as of now, I want to quickly go back to the trends again. BJP is far in the lead now. It hasn't come back to being a neck-to-neck race. BJP at 43 and Aam Aadmi Party at 26. Aam Aadmi Party is nowhere near the majority mark. BJP far ahead of it.
Well, yes. In the past, the index of opposition unity has been a much discussed issue. Many people who feel that parties like particularly in the minorities, parties led by, say, Owaisi, Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin, that has become a factor in Delhi politics, and that has further caused attrition, leading to a consolidation behind the BJP. So, yes, you are right that if the opposition gets divided, then the BJP is the one that gains the most.
It's interesting that you point out if the opposition gets divided, the BJP gets the most. But also looking at, the larger picture in this elections, do you think, the BJP at this moment seems to have gotten the formula for upseating the Aam Aadmi Party? Because what we've been witnessing so far was the Aam Aadmi Party had said that they will bring about good governance, they'll clean up the politics of New Delhi. So is that politics now on the wane?
Well, Aam Aadmi Party could argue, and I think it's on the dint of that they're getting 28 seats or whatever it might be. They're coming number 2. It could argue that it is fighting with its hands tied behind its back. Delhi, as you know, is sui generis. The state government does not enjoy all the powers. And frankly, the Aam Aadmi Party's proposals, for instance, to deliver ration to the doorstep, I mean, it could manage to do free buses for women, and that has had a very salutary effect on women in Delhi. But many of the other proposals that it had made were shot down by the BJP.
Right.
So there is an element of sympathy that its ideas are right, but it doesn't have the efficiency or the bandwidth to carry them out. That is a factor that has dogged the Aam Aadmi Party's performance in Delhi throughout its tenure.
All right, interesting. For this, one of the interesting data that is also coming forth is that Ramesh Bidhuri, who is contesting against Atishi in Kalkaji, at this moment is in the lead. He's also been, a member of parliament from the South Delhi constituency twice. He's been a Delhi MLA thrice. What's your thought on the fact that he's leading Atishi, who at the moment was the Chief Minister for the Aam Aadmi Party?
And that's a high-stakes seat for both, given who they have both pitched. It's the incumbent Chief Minister, and then you have Ramesh Bidhuri, who has a glorious past in Delhi.
Well, I don't know about the glorious past bit.
In terms of the number of planes, at least, he's had it's 3 MLAs.
Some of the charges that have been made by voters against him are that he does not talk about women with respect and so on. Atishi would, if she really loses, I think for Delhi it will be a big loss, because she's a very thoughtful person who is highly educated and has given up on all that to do public service. We still need people like that. So I think it will be a loss.
The people of Delhi, Ms. Fadnis, will turn around and say that she's had her opportunity. She's been the Chief Minister. She's also been an MLA before. But now, probably at this moment, the mood in Delhi is for change. The people of Delhi are probably looking for some new kind of energy, for some, a new approach for governance, which is what seems to be pretty clear, because this is not a close race by any means. The Bharatiya Janata Party has really taken the lead. They are leading at this moment on 44 seats. These are still early leads. But as things are, going, it doesn't look like the Aam Aadmi Party at this moment will be able to claw its way back, because more and more the number of votes get counted. The lead of the BJP seems to be growing there.
It's growing now. Let's wait and see. But as you say, with this kind of a prelude, it's hard for the BJP to lose seats. It will only gain more.
Saleh, also, the Aam Aadmi Party, now, these are early trends, but as of now, if we go with what we're seeing, 28 for the Aam Aadmi Party, 41 for the BJP. If Aam Aadmi Party is not to get that third term in Delhi, how much of a bearing do you feel it will also have on their stakes in Punjab, which is also eventually going to be around the corner?
Shivan, this will change in many ways the politics of Delhi indeed, but it also will have an impact in Punjab as well. Because remember, the Aam Aadmi Party cannot claim that it is the new kid on the block which is going to change the way
it
politics
no longer has
is.
that
It no longer has that advantage. Now, what it is fighting against is the machinery of the BJP. The fact that the Congress Party, this is the third election where probably they are going to be restricted either to 0 or 1. It's not in the contest at all. The only person who's putting up some kind of a fight is Sandeep Dixit. Except for him, the Congress in this election is not looking like it could have a major impact in terms of the numbers that it is going to get. But yes, this is an election that will, tell you that the BJP, which had not been able to breach the Aam Aadmi fortress so far as the assembly was concerned in the last 2 elections, seems to be winning with a fairly handsome number, but still early leads. The BJP at this moment leading with 40 seats. Aam Aadmi Party leading in 29 of those constituencies. Ms. Fadnis, this is interesting because the people of Delhi had been, in 2014, in 2019 and in 2024, in the Lok Sabha elections had gone with the BJP. But when it came to the assembly, they had voted for the Aam Aadmi Party overwhelmingly. But that seems to be changing, and that's a tectonic shift. Why do you think that is happening?
Well, one is people of Delhi want efficiency, and Aam Aadmi Party, despite the good initiatives, has not been able to offer efficiency. Secondly, Aam Aadmi Party in many ways has proved that it is different, but it's also no different from other parties. When you look at the charges against Manish Sisodia and Arvind Kejriwal These charges are still being debated in court, but an extended jail term, for both top leaders does not speak particularly highly of Aam Aadmi Party.
Do you think the liquor policy scam has been the undoing of the Aam Aadmi Party? If these numbers hold, is that what has brought the Aam Aadmi Party down?
I think that's one of the things, definitely, there's no doubt about that. Also, I think Aam Aadmi Party, in terms of resources, spread itself really thin. There was no reason to fight the Goa election, there was no reason to fight, sundry elections all over India. True, it did well in Punjab, but I think when you are in that position, you need to be very careful about choosing the battles you fight.
Right.
You cannot afford to lose the battles you fight.
And Ms. Fadnis, I wanted to come to that next. Do you feel the aspirations to be a national party has kind of taken away from their own stance in their hub, which was Delhi, where they came to power with a massive mandate?
We can argue till the cows come home about what mistakes they made, but the mistakes cannot have been made at the cost of Delhi, which is the point you're making. That if you neglect Delhi and try and go to Gujarat and try and go to Goa and try and go to Haryana, where you really don't have much traction, then the ambitions of wanting to be a national party, to want more and more and more, then you become like any other party, frankly.
That seems to be a point which Aam Aadmi Party will have to reflect on. But it's also interesting, Shivan, the fact that the very persona of Arvind Kejriwal, when he had burst onto the scene in Indian politics, he had said that, listen, I'm an Aam Aadmi Party, I'm one of you. I'm going to live like you. I do not want this Lal Batti culture. I do not want this big palatial house. I do not need this convoy or cavalcade of cars. But look as to how he has changed. When he renovated the house, the BJP was able to, probably make that persona of Arvind Kejriwal look like, he was pretending to be someone else from what he was. The, argument that they made of the Sheesh Mahal as to how he had renovated the house and the expenditure that had been spent in just renovation of his house where he was living was not the image that the Aam Aadmi Party, the Aam Aadmi of Delhi was able to connect with. And that seems to have stuck to his reputation, which seems to be his undoing here.
The BJP has really gone after that image that he had created, which had essentially resonated with people that, I'm one of you, I will clean it up. This, the broom, the jhadu is what our symbol is all about. And that's what we stand for. And then come all these visuals of his house, or then, of course, the entire excise policy scam. All of that has really damaged what Aam Aadmi Party's core standing was. Ms. Fadnis, do you feel that was the beginning of the unseating of the Aam Aadmi Party? It's not just what we're seeing as of now in these trends, but it started much earlier.
Sure. And the party was not able to counter many of these allegations effectively either. I mean, if you're talking about Sheesh Mahal, some of the leaders who are in the BJP, they are also fairly well off when it comes to fighting. But the argument is, we don't say that we are not well off.
Right.
You take us or leave us. With Aam Aadmi Party, it's that element of pretense that really riled people, and the party was not able to counter this effectively.
Ms. Fadnis, one other aspect is the stress that Arvind Kejriwal had been giving on the people who live in the Jhuggi Jhopris. He said that, listen, Delhi for me is not just those people who are affluent, who are the upper middle class. I'm more interested in people who are living in slums as well. And the civic administration for these people will change. Do you think the Aam Aadmi Party has slipped up because it is also in charge of the MCD? And therefore, the people look at the Aam Aadmi Party now and they say, listen, probably they made the promises that they did, but they've not delivered on those promises of cleaning up the drains, making the infrastructure better in terms of the roads that people in fact use in their day-to-day lives, and that has been a slip up for them.
I think for any political party, the lesson from this election is you must be able to walk before you can run.
Right.
In order to provide all the things that Delhi needed, Delhi wanted, Delhi desperately sought, Aam Aadmi Party at some points was so busy trying to establish itself as a political party in other states that it kind of took its eye off the ball in Delhi. People like Saurabh Bhardwaj, who belong to otherwise fairly affluent colonies like Greater Kailash, have done relatively well. But people who are from far-flung Delhi colonies, where there is really no infrastructure or very rudimentary infrastructure, people wanted the government to work faster for them, and perhaps it was not able to.
Ms. Fadnis, as far as this figure that we're seeing as of now, BJP at 43, Aam Aadmi Party at 26, Aam Aadmi Party has hovered around that 24-26 figure since almost half an hour now, and BJP is far past 40 since half an hour. That gap seems to have only increased. It's hardly, we can't call it a neck-to-neck race by any stretch of imagination. What has given BJP that lead? Has it been something they have done right, or has it mostly been due to the failings of the Aam Aadmi Party or the dent that they've taken in the persona that Kejriwal had built for himself?
I think it's a combination of all of these things. Also, people do want this perpetual fighting between the Delhi state government and the central government to end. They feel that it is to their detriment that this fighting is going on. Initially, it started off as a degree of sympathy for Arvind Kejriwal and actually developed into a seam of sympathy for him and the Aam Aadmi Party, which wanted to do things but was not being able to do those things because it was not in power. Now the thing is, people are now figuring out that not only were the things put in motion not done efficiently, but also like Mohalla clinics were the great idea, the big idea of the Aam Aadmi Party, but many of them are now in a decrepit condition, are not in a position to deliver the services that Delhi people want or have been promised. So this kind of inefficiency really makes people angry, and they want something, they want things to work. So they want facilities that are actually functional. Also, some basic things like better illuminated roads, because that's a major factor in the safety of women. You know, other initiatives which the Aam Aadmi Party had in mind but was not able to roll out efficiently. I think these are all factors that went into its
Interesting. You know, just the latest bit of numbers that are coming in, it does appear that Parvesh Singh Verma in that New Delhi seat appears to be in the lead. Sandeep Dixit, it appears, has now fallen behind him. So this is going to be an interesting development. Parvesh Singh Verma, you know, who was competing against Arvind Kejriwal, who is in the fray there, seems to have taken a lead. Does that surprise you, Ms. Fadnis?
No, it doesn't surprise me. I was expecting this, and I mean, Arvind Kejriwal has lost out partly because of his incarceration, partly also because of the way perceptions have been built around him.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not.